Okay, guys, Road Warrior back here, continuing on with my lure series. Now I'm going to cover jerk baits and swim baits and duo swim baits in this one, kind of jumble them together. Kind of looking around here at the shop, I'm going to start with the jerk baits. I want to say they're in real life, they're kind of compared to me, they remind me of rattle traps here in the United States, or rat L traps. Anybody that's familiar with those? Now, in real life, they normally have BBs in them to make a nice, just a vibration sound throughout the water. Now, I don't think they work like that in this game. But anyway, moving on. They're in the game for whatever reason. I'll kind of put up later in a clip, and I'll explain why I don't like them as much, depending on how deep the water you're fishing. In other words, they're kind of hard to keep off the bottom. You need a really fast retrieve. But just kind of going through here. Now, I did not. As you can see here, I have not purchased the expensive one, so I cannot tell you. But again, just throughout the game, I've noticed I just don't like them as much, as well as the striped jerkbait that you can get around the 4th of July event. It seems to be so much better. So that's normally what I carry as far as jerkbaits. There is one jerkbait in here that does fairly decent for shark, and I'll show you later on. But just in the event that you didn't know, it's this colored one right here, the red and white sinking, more of a kind of a off color as opposed to the wine. That's actually this one. But in upcoming clips, I'll show you some of the stuff in action. Moving on here on the lures as well. There's so many different swim baits to look through. Again, just my personal experience, these can work really well on catfish, payara, that sort of thing. But what I'm more curious about, or wanting to show you, is the duo swim baits and effectiveness of those. Now, I do have one opinion on these. I think the blue one overall is more versatile, kind of depending on what you're going for. Again, in upcoming clips, I'll explain what to you and why. As far as the setups that I use in this clip, you guys see me use this a lot, depending on what I'm doing. As far as the real setup, but that's just the Zeus 8'10" again that I like to use. The smaller Zeus, the 8'2", the Tropicana, the 7'10", as well as this one. I love to fish with the Arapaima more times than not. If I'm lure fishing for Arapaima, I actually like this one better. But in the event that you didn't wanted to see that, those are. Now in upcoming clips, I'll show you all this stuff in action. Okay, guys, moving on to the actual clips here. What I'm doing here is doing a manual twitch, simply holding up the rod tip, aka sky twitching. So I'm manually twitching with the rod tip up. What I'm trying to do here is stay underneath the moss line, and that's why a lot of people might be intimidated to use lures like this, but you still can get hung up, but it takes a little finesse. In other words, I know the fish are going to follow this up underneath the moss line, as long as you're not cranking too fast. Again, that's where the manual twitch will come in handy. Now, you can try stop and go. Sometimes it will be effective, but more times than not, you'll notice for bass in particular, they actually love the twitching animation here on Fishing Planet, and sometimes too in real life. Okay, now moving on to another spot, kind of the same thing, and also sometimes you might just want to let it fall, just kind of again trying to figure out where the depth is. Again, boom, right into another fish. Nice sized one too. They do get up to 9, but nonetheless, nice sized fish. Also, keynote too. Make sure that I got my drag down here for a reason. You know, the unique bow fin could be over here, so I don't want you guys to ever lose your lures in that event. But I am running leaderless. But just keep that in mind. I do keep the tension down. I do not want to lose my duo swim bait on a unique bow fin of all things. But as you can see, a good alternative if bass jigs aren't working. Spinners, that sort of thing, poppers, toppers, walkers, whatever seems not to be working. Again, it's good to have a tackle box full of things that you can try in the event that your traditional things aren't working. And again, just carrying on my lure series here, I want to be able to show you the effectiveness of this selection of a lure. Definitely the swim baits, I think, are really great. Again, here's another thing I like to call a rip and smash, where I'm just kind of ripping almost using it as a topwater lure here. I'm going for musky. You can do that. It's actually very effective, just depending on, again, the peak where the fish are. Nice trophy musky, just a reel and twitch, reel with a manual twitch, not an auto twitch. Okay, moving on now. I'm using actually a duo swim bait, red 8-0, kind of doing the same method there, then just reeling, just auto twitching off the bottom. Again, letting it rise a little bit, letting it fall a little bit. quick trophy now. Didn't take too long. I think maybe even the very next cast, I'm out here as well, knowing the unique should be around and willing and able and willing, I should say, to hit this. But again, don't hesitate to try these things out for yourself in the event that you got these unlocked and you're looking to do a little something different at a lake or two. And again, in upcoming clips, I'll be showing you a little bit on a swim bait, the regular swim baits. But again, bar none for me, I love the duo swim baits in the game out of all those options. Nice size unique musky there off of that. Okay, now going back to the jerkbait. Now this is an entirely different setup, and I'm doing a reel and twitch, another reel and manual twitch. This is with a jerkbait off the bottom. And that's what you'll find a lot of times with the jerkbaits. You have to have usually a quick reel speed. I think I end up even swapping off and putting on a, but nonetheless, the nice trophy there. I do swap out, as you can see there by the reel. Now again, I'm doing this at my own risk, so you don't do this, but I'm running this particular spot without, and I even got my anchor set. I am not even running a titanium leader, as you can see there. I don't recommend that for everybody, but knowing where that maxes out, where I'm not really in the red or the orange. Now again, this game can be crazy, so don't lose your jerk stripe bait there. Again, that's the one I was mentioned before. That's mainly the main jerk bait that I carry in my tackle box, the one that you can get from the 4th of July event. Nonetheless, nice size, unique, clear musky. Now just kind of showing you here real quick on the, again, do these things at your own risk. There's nothing wrong with putting the leader on, as you can see. The other 8.0 I had leader on, but that one I did not have the leader on. Again, try these things at your own risk. I don't want you guys getting mad at me, but again, now moving on here without a leader, of course. Just briefly covering the swim baits. I don't like them as much as the duo swim baits, but I just want to show you they are very, very effective for sure in the game. On one thing that I like them in for particular is the gilded and the red tail here at the Maroon River. I absolutely made a fortune back in the day farming these things with that same method, manual twitching off of the bottom. Unfortunately, I forgot my net this time, my bigger net, so I did not able to put him in there, but there's a quick $10,000 if I would have had my net and 9,000 XP. Moving on, now we are going for some, you guessed it, here we go. Boom. Nile perch. Yep. Nile perch will actually hit these. That is the trophy. Just kind of showing you the same kind of setup off the bottom. We are here at the Congo. Again, food for thought whenever you're using something like this. I kind of let these little small fish play through. Sometimes in between the trophy and the unique, this will happen to you. But again, knowing that these things are on the bottom, again, just that manual twitching, again, off the bottom. It doesn't matter sometimes on the dots even. I'm just kind of illustrating this going really slow. Just a slow auto twitch. And the perch actually love these things. In the event you're struggling with spoons or something else, or even the shad, that's definitely a viable option here. The blue one does seem to be more effective than the other two for whatever reason, but I'm not saying the others won't work. Just fish can be a lot different in the game. Now going on again to the jerkbait here, same kind of strategy there, just nothing impressive on these shark here again, but this is a jerkbait that actually works fairly well as far as a steady bite. Now you might be able to get a trophy if you cast enough, but again, for me in particular on sharks, you guys know how I feel. Deep runner is the way to go if you're wanting to get the bigger shark quicker. But again, I have caught trophy shark on this lure, believe it or not, but it takes you a long time to hop around the map to finally get to a common and a trophy with this. But just kind of illustrating that does work. Straight retrieve, if you notice there, works as well. Again, always make sure you're trying to figure out what depth they're at. Now that I've already determined they're on the bottom, I'm actually going to go over here, and I'm going to, another kind of a thing here with shark. I have not noticed a difference in colors. Okay, now right here you'll see me, I'm even doing a different retrieve. I'm just doing a stop and go, but I know again I'm in their strike zone because I know they're on the bottom. I've already determined for majority of the spots they're going to be on the bottom. Stop and go again. Nothing impressive on the size of this shark. But again, if in the event that you're struggling to use these, sometimes you might just be fishing over their head. If you're fishing the midwater column or all the way, near the upper third, you're not getting bites off these swim baits. It's probably because they're either deeper or you're running at the bottom and they're shallower. So, again, pay attention to your sonar. I do think it actually does help you in the game, if anything. I'm just kind of letting you decide where you should be fishing depth-wise. Again, that was a green one. Now we're over here on a deep spot. This is actually like 46 foot deep or something crazy over here. Same thing. I'm just working this really slow, auto twitch, but just kind of busting a few myths, at least on these shark. I don't think the color really matters, guys, as you noticed, and I'll show you an upcoming net after I catch this shark here again. Size-wise, nothing impressive, but if you're looking to go have fun with the duo swim baits, this is definitely a good way to go. And then you'll also find that just a quick review, like I'd said on the net there, but I caught a shark off of each one of those swim baits, just, you know, making sure that I was in the strike zone, caught them on stop and go and, you know, auto twitch. Moving on, and last but not least, is this two things. Number one, I've again positioned myself, my avatar, so I can kind of keep an eye on the sonar. See, as you can see the big fish and the sonar in the background there. I know he's on the bottom. Number two, for whatever reason, I've had the best success on duo swim baits, in particular on Arapaima with the red one and stop and go. Now I'm going to transition from twitch right into stop and go and watch what happens. Let the rod tip down, stop and go. There the big guy is. And again, I put all this detail up. This video actually took me about 4 hours, a couple hours yesterday and a couple hours a day, getting the footage together and you know, kind of going around. Wanting to share my knowledge if it helps players in comps, that sort of thing, or any comps they might add, or anything in particular. If you wanted to know about swim baits, jerk baits, this definitely should have helped you guys out. And again, just remember, food for thought. There is a lot of myths in the game, whether it's colors, that sort of thing. Now, you might find specific to for this fish here in particular, I do think it likes stop and go and the red one better, in my opinion, if you're wanting to use that. I hope this really helps you guys out. And again, just a quick look at the same net there, as I just went the same night that I was fishing after I got done with the shark. But nonetheless, there you go.